in here. This is my monk, as I've shown you before. So I'm gonna tell you about the spec I use to get through Act 2, which I am now farming pretty steadily. And I do not use this spec to farm, but this is the spec that, like I said, got me through Act 2, and I had a hell of a time trying to get through Act 2 until I found this spec. So I figured it'll be pretty helpful for you, and it took me a little while to figure out exactly how to make the best use of it. So I will attempt to clarify some of that, perhaps make it a little bit easier. So starting with my gear, these are my stats. I am currently trying to combine resists, so I'm trying to get all resists and physical resists, like on my pants, and I have it on a couple pieces so far, my boots, my pants, doesn't matter, my amulet. So yes, so I've been trying to stack that. I was previously doing just straight all resist, but for Act 3 I feel like I need a bit more, so that's why my resists are kind of low. And I don't use one with everything in Act 2. You can if you need to, I'll get into that. So that's what I'm doing with the resists. I go sword and board, or spear and board in this case. And I got something with a socket so that I can do the 300 life on hit, which I think is incredibly helpful. I definitely noticed my survivability went up when I added that. And it's okay, the DPS is alright on it, it's not great. And then I have a sacred shield with 27% block chance, and it's pretty nice because they have the highest block amount, and it's not a bad shield, and it's giving me some resists there. So yeah, and I got these boots recently they increased the movement speed, which I had seen some other specs before that said you absolutely need this, the movement speed I mean, and I didn't really buy into it. And then I got these boots, and now I notice how awesome they are, so I highly recommend getting something with movement speed on it. It even helps you if you're just farming, but I've definitely noticed that when something casts like Frozen, for instance, it's much easier to get out of the way and not get hit by that. And I have my Helm of Command to help with my block chance, so I have my block chance up to 35%, which is pretty good, I think. Yeah, so it's pretty much my gear. I think it's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it at this stage anyway. Need to upgrade it a bit before heading into Act 3, I think, but it's certainly not bad. And so I will go into my spec now. So this is what I'm using. I have Fists of Thunder with the Lightning Flash rune for the dodge, which I've been using for a while now. I'm pretty sure that's what I used in Act 1 as well. But it's pretty awesome, and it's the quickest spirit generator attack, which I will explain why that is important later. I usually use Firestorm with Sweeping Wind because of one of the passives I use, but you can use this one, Inner Storm, because it is also generating spirit for you, which is really important with this build. Not that I would say get gear specifically to generate spirit, but this should take care of it. If you're having issues, you can use this rune, and I think that'll make it a little bit easier. That's what I did at first in any case. And then I'm using Blinding Flash with Searing Light because that's really helpful when fighting elites. You know, as you're pretty much just going to be, you should be farming elites at this point because killing bosses is pretty useless. They don't really drop that much loot, and I hate the fights. So that's that. And Breath of Heaven, I use Blazing Wrath. You might want to use Circle of Life, depending on what your gear is like. If you don't need the DPS increase, or if you feel like you need more survivability, this isn't a bad choice. But I go with this because I like having the extra DPS. And then, of course, I'm using Serenity with Peaceful Repose. I think that's just a standard. It's like my oh shit button. So that's pretty necessary. And I am currently using Mantra of Healing with Time of Need But you could use Mantra of Evasion. I mean, like I said, it depends on what your gear is. If your resists are really high, then go with Mantra of Evasion. But because mine aren't really high, and I don't feel like wasting a passive on getting them all even, I use this instead. And I do enjoy the healing aspect of it. So I use that. And then my passives, which are pretty much the heart and soul of this build. This is, anyway, Transcendence. Because this turns every one of your abilities into a heal, which is pretty amazing. And it took me a while to get used to it, because I had never tried this passive before, because I thought it looked kind of stupid. But I had read something that said this was really good. So I tried it, and after a little while I got used to it, and it is incredibly useful, because if I have this and that on cooldown, and, well, Blinding Flash as well, then I can just use Mantra of Healing, or sometimes I'll click Sweeping Wind, which I probably shouldn't do. Mantra of Healing is better because it'll give you the shield. So it's like, but it's like you get your own, like, heal whenever you want it, as long as you have enough spirit. Which is why you need the spirit generators, and you want to just keep your spirit up as high as possible, because usually in those moments, when your other things are on cooldown, you might not be in a good situation to try and get more spirit. So I always try to keep some in reserve, which is why I use the Fists of Thunder, because, like I said, it's the fastest attack, so that works out really well. And the Sweeping Wind with Inner Storm would help with that a lot. So use that. Seize the Initiative. Your armor increase is pretty necessary. I can't really imagine not using it. So that's that. This is the one you can switch out. This is the reason I use Firestorm as opposed to one of the others, because, like, Firestorm increases the distance of things hit by it, the radius, that's the word. And so this makes it really awesome, because obviously this is going to make it so more things are getting hit, and thus those things are doing less damage. But you can switch this out for one with everything if you need to. I feel like that one's a bit, I don't know the word for it, but you can switch it, is basically what it comes down to. So it's either you want to be using Resolve and Firestorm, or you want to be using one with everything and then Inner Storm. So that's my spec, and I'm gonna go kill this horrid pack of elites that I found down in the sewers, as opposed to killing Belial, because, like I said before, killing bosses at this point is kind of, it's not really worth it, in my opinion. You get, I mean, I don't know, elite packs are much quicker to kill. So I will attempt to do this with my FPS being absolutely terrible. They are down here somewhere. I mostly hate the sewers because of these guys, because of the terrible little pools they leave when they die. Like that. And then they hurt me a lot. Okay, but here are these elites. So as you can see, they aren't so bad, besides the fact of these other guys that I hate ruining everything by exploding and then causing terrible pools of green on the ground. But this is still not exactly, I don't know, I've found harder, or easier elites, definitely. So, but as you can see, I'm just running around like a crazy person. And they are all getting hit by my Firestorm, which is really nice. And I use that when I usually use Blinding Flash when I want to get out of, like, get out of the area. Like, if they're kind of blocking me in and I cannot escape, I will cast Blinding Flash, and then they're stupid and blinded, and thus I can get out. So, surprised I haven't gotten frozen yet. Yeah, so this is pretty much it. It's not that hard, although I am getting hurt more than I would like. Oh, frozen. That's not good. But,
See, in that situation, I just blinded them as soon as I got out of the frozen. And I might... Oh, please don't die. Please don't die. Okay. Hopefully I'm okay. See, that healed me a little bit. I didn't have my spirit up as high as I should have for that situation. But, so there you go. And I got 2 rares from that, which is pretty nice. They're probably terrible. But, oh well, usually I get... Every now and then you get something worth, 100,000 gold. Now you get stuff more than that. But anyway, so that's my spec. I hope it's helpful to you. It's not really a farming spec, but at least it will obviously get you through the elites when you do come across them on your way through Act 2. And yes, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it wasn't too dull. And yeah, just leave any comments or questions below, and I will get back to you right away. Thank you!